So now that the second semifinal has happened, I think the odds and even the fandom might be completely wrong about some entries. So again, I want to go through who's overrated, who's underrated by the odds, by the fandom. But there's an important distinction. Is it underrated or overrated by the odds versus the chances it has of ending up in that placement? Whereas when I compare it to the fandom's views, I compare it to my own views. So I didn't make that clear in my first video. Apologies. So I just wanted to be absolutely clear. There's two different ratings done at once just to confuse you. Sorry about that. It's my video. I do what I want. But I hope you enjoyed the video. But let me know where you agree, disagree. Would love to hear from you down in the comments. I'll go through some of the standout entries from yesterday. Denmark, Bulgaria, France, Australia, Ukraine, Romania, and rank them in both categories. So stick around and like and subscribe. It supports the channel massively. Let's crack on. So the first out is Denmark. Do I think it's overrated or underrated by the odds? Honestly, I think it's overrated. It feels like this has a much lower ceiling jury point wise than people expected. The vocals aren't 100% there. So will he then try to rely on televote points because it's an emotional impact entry? But that field has proved to be much more crowded with new strong contenders. So yeah, I think it's overrated by the odds compared to how it will end up doing. It was in second. Okay, it's down to the sixth. So maybe the odds agree with me now. Sorry, I took that from memory. And where it's rated against the fans, it's rated second. And I honestly think that's also overrated. I love this entry. I think it's phenomenal. I just don't think it's second best. It should maybe be five placements lower down. So double overration of Denmark this year, but I'm very happy that Denmark has sent something so strong and competitive after years of struggling to qualify. So, and next up, Bulgaria. Is it overrated or underrated by the odds? And it's actually shot up to 7th place, which is amazing. Don't hate me, but I think that's overrated. I think there's a massive hype and momentum around this entry now, especially in the Eurovision bubble, which has led to this huge jump. I don't expect it to achieve that kind of result. Maybe around 10th place, so just slightly overrated. God, I wish this lands in top 5. I just don't think it's really realistic at this point. Like, even if it gets a sizable televote score, I think the juries may still not appreciate how technically advanced and flawless this number is, and they might mark down the song as well, no matter how much I don't think they should, because they do tend to go for more artistic and maybe slim, polished songs than what this is. And when it comes to the fans, do I think it's underrated or overrated? Down in 9th place, I think that's actually underrated. This should be higher by the fans because I absolutely love this. I think it's such a bop. It got so many interesting elements, and now they mix so well together with a super strong performer, like hot choreography, and a really effective storytelling staging. So this should be higher. Come on, ESC scoreboard. Next up, is France over or underrated by the odds? And honestly, I think it's overrated. Like, this is such a flawlessly executed number, but I think it comes across as too controlled, contrived, almost too calculated, and doesn't connect enough. So I don't see it being in the top 5. Okay, it's again, it's fallen down to 9th place. Yeah, maybe that's more realistic. Like, this could do really well with juries. I've always said that this is potential like a Zoe May situation, but I'm not even sure the juries are gonna rank this second. I think top 10 with the juries, bottom 10 with a televote. And the reception since yesterday has just kind of been underwhelming. So that's where I think it lands. And when it comes to the fandoms, do I personally rate this higher or lower? Do I think it's overrated by the fans? It's rated in 10th place. And honestly, at this point, I had it in my top 10, but since yesterday, I think it's kind of fallen out, and I think it's overrated by the fans because for me, the connection just isn't there. I think it's editorial, it's dramatic, it's epic, but there are other numbers that just makes me feel more, and I think that wins the day. Then next up is Ukraine, over or underrated by the odds. Let me have a look. It's in 12th place. Honestly, I think that's underrated. I think it will do much better than that. I think this could be a dark horse with the juries and get a really significant televote because I do think that this is very artistic and has a there's nothing to mark down here, and I think it will appeal to people in the juries. And that, and combined with even if they're just top 10 with both juries and televote, that will almost land them in top 5 totally because other entries will have a more split score, low plus high. And when it comes to the fans, do I think Ukraine is underrated or overrated by the fans compared to my view? Let me see. It's actually not in the top 13. Ukraine is down in 19th place by the fans. And honestly, I think that's underrated. It's not in my top 10, but this song has grown on me. She's a stellar performer, and I just think it emotionally connects. It's beautiful. So for me, that is underrated, although I wouldn't put it crazy high. It's still higher than that. Then next up is Australia, under or overrated by the odds. It's in second place now. Although a big gap to Finland. So yeah, I almost think this is overrated. Do I think Australia would end up in second place? Probably not, because even though it has a really high jury ceiling, I'm not sure the televote score is there to land it in second place overall. And I almost think that it could be too Eurovision-y for casual viewers, despite Delta being such a stellar performer. And when it comes to the fandom, do I think it's overrated or underrated by the fans? It's in 7th place. And honestly, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think that's underrated, meaning I would rate that higher. I think this had such an impact yesterday. I love how all in this has gone. They're not holding back in any sense, and it definitely connects with me. Great hook, visually striking, class A performer and vocalist, plus extra staging. Yeah, this should be higher. And then the last one, do I think Romania is under or overrated by the odds? And honestly, they've just placed them in the penultimate position right before Austria. I think that just gave them a massive potential boost, which I'm not even sure they needed. But so I think this is underrated by the odds. I think this definitely will land in the top 5. Clear dark horse. And now it has such a strong momentum that the juries can't overlook it. And juries tend to not wanting to mark down one of the winner contenders and kill it completely. Even Carrier and Måneskin, Baby Lasagna, they were all in top 4, even though not being jury songs. And the televote potential here is just huge. This has such a high impact, standout number right at the end. Go Romania. Do I personally think it's overrated or underrated by the fans? It's rated now in the 3rd place. I can't believe how this steadily has been climbing all the way through. And so I actually think that's a very fair ranking. I wouldn't place it much higher. I wouldn't place it much lower. But yeah, I think this is such a standout entry. It's in my top 3, and that's where it is in the ranking. So that's a fair assessment. But what do you think? Where am I completely wrong? And where do you agree? Which is your favorite entry from the semifinal too? And how do you think they will do tomorrow? Let me know down in the comments. And like and subscribe, because I'll be continuing with videos even after the contest. So make sure you stay tuned for more Eurovision content. And I hope to see you in another video soon. Bye.